Chapter 5 of the book Agile Portfolio Management. And this chapter is about validation, about starting to validate as early as possible. Now, why is that so crucial? Well, everything in your portfolio is hypothetical. It's full of assumptions. That's what a strategy is. A strategy is a set of assumptions. And how do you find out which is right or wrong? Well, that's exactly by validation. So it starts with accepting that everything in your portfolio is hypothetical, is an assumption, and the earlier you will find out, the better it is. Because that's what creates agility. Agility is maximizing the work that you don't do. So validation helps you to find out which great ideas appear not to be so great. And you save yourself the time, the amount, the energy, the money to do something else instead. So as early as you start to validate, the earlier you will get the information to know what are great ideas or what you should do next. So everything that you do is an experiment. And you can decide yourself whether you do cheap experiments or expensive experiments. It's experiments anyway. And an expensive experiment is where you develop a product or a service fully. Spend months, maybe even sometimes years on it. Then going to the market and then finding out it doesn't create the value you expect. Or that the customers are not willing to buy it. Small experiments are small initiatives that you test with a certain market. Maybe a small subset of customers or users. Or sometimes even with your own employees who resemble or are customers too. And those experiments will give you the data as well. You decide the size. You decide whether you do expensive experiments or cheap experiments. I don't have an opinion about that. But we do know that the smaller the experiments are, the earlier you get the information where value is or isn't, or even more value is that you didn't foresee. A final word on this portfolio and on the validation is what we learned in case C on Friesland Campina, where they have a very well balanced portfolio of, let's say, 4 quartiles, and the first quartile is the initial ideas and initiatives that don't create value, and the final quartile are the things that are really valuable already, that are, let's say, introducing to the market. And the great thing is because they choose this balance in their portfolio, every quarter they will deliver valuable results. Instead of an unbalanced one where you have to work 9 months and nobody experiences value and starts to ask questions. So what type of organization you're in, think about and maybe look at the KC, what they do in their funnel. A funnel of initiatives in the portfolio that are initial, being developed on, and also are creating value. That's the essence of chapter 5. But you may ask yourself, who is doing that? Well, that work is being done by business owners, product owners. And you may guess it already. That's exactly the topic of chapter 6.